Welcome to a new video. I'm your host, Kerem Bölek. Today we talk about modern decadence and the reasons that are causing it. Stick to the end of the video for an interesting fight. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. First off, a reading from Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil. We know well enough how offensive it sounds when someone says plainly and without metaphor that man is an animal. But it will be reckoned almost a crime in us that precisely in regard to man, of modern ideas, we constantly employ the terms herd instinct, and the like. But what of that? We can do no other, for it is precisely here that our new insight lies. We have found that in all principal moral judgments Europe has become unanimous. One manifestly knows in Europe what Socrates thought he did not know, and what that celebrated old serpent once promised to teach. One knows today what is good and evil. The masculine spirit is being crushed. It is seen as evil. The ambiguity of the modern world for many men is becoming unbearable. What are they supposed to become? Warriors cease to exist and bug-like men stay. Our culture took away an important part of masculinity, which is fighting and challenge. There is an antidote to this. The ancient Greeks used to wrestle and philosophize on the same day. That way, their thoughts would be straightforward and using visceral words, so it would be more easily and readily understood. The conveniences of our modern world, the lack of conflict and the lack of striving, has made men into a slush version of themselves. The Western philosopher who fights ceased to exist, and it has caused great peril in the society at large. Fighting when I was growing up was seen as something bad, something boys did when they got angry. My old teachers used to hate it, and they stopped any form of rough and tumble playing. For these possessed herd animals, as Nietzsche calls them, any form of physical exertion of power is evil, and I was committing sins on school grounds. There were even lessons given where the boys were taught that competition was a bad thing and should be avoided. We were treated to be like girls and to be caring of one another at all times. What happened to boys fighting and shaking hands after? Later in life I had a hard time controlling my anger, which caused me strife to say the least. A man grows when he faces adversity. Fighting with other men makes a man grow, not only physically but also spiritually, as danger is afoot. This danger keeps man conscious, however animalistic the act may be. With this conscious training in the face of danger, man emerges. The human spirit, made to build even in the most trying and testing times, needs to be challenged. For how sad would it be if man could not prove himself? A man must choose to be a man all the time. If we cease to choose and live with conclusions, we degrade to bugs. Look at the modern man who has concluded that there is no such thing as a toxic side to femininity, downing his third bottle of Soylent, playing games while his mind and body degrades into a slush of pleasure-filled sorrow. This nihilism provides a fertile breeding ground for weakness, which we have decided to be as good. No striving of any sort, just pleasurable moments with underlying hate for anything greater than itself. Look at the way weaker spirits mock the strong of faith.
When you do that and there's like muscles there, nobody cares about that. We don't want to see that.
Nothing is sacred, because the only thing that is sacred is looking like you care for others, looking like you are virtuous to other people no matter the cost, even if the cost is becoming a bug. The dropping testosterone of men in the last half-century is a worrying development, and our so-called governments do not care. Fertility rates drop, and there are more sexless men. Governments do not care for providing healthy guidelines, lest the people get stronger. It is therefore you, the individual, that must take their balls into their own hands. Fighting makes the man, and you are not a man unless you can fight. Fight for your morals, fight for your ideas, and fight for your family. Reclaim your manliness, reclaim your testosterone, and choose to become a man. Subscribe.
This is respect sport, you know. This is not trash talking sport. This is respect. So like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game.
You go back and watch it. You got it? Get fucked.
Alright, come on. Got me.
Are you done?
Got me.
Are you done?
Yeah, bro.
I'm done.
Let's go for Costco. Good fight. Here you go.
Glad you guys got that fucking settled.